What if I told you that the swirling columns of dust you see dancing across empty fields aren't miniature tornadoes at all, but something far more mysterious and scientifically fascinating? Picture this. A hot, dry afternoon in an empty field. The air is still, the ground is baking under the sun, and then suddenly, a ghost appears. A swirling column of dust and debris rises from the ground, dancing across the landscape like a phantom before vanishing as quickly as it came. For centuries, people called them dust devils, assuming they were just small tornadoes. But science has revealed something much more surprising. These whirlwinds aren't born from storms in the sky. They're created by the ground itself, through a process so delicate and precise that we are only beginning to understand how they form, why they spin, and what secrets they might hold about our planet's atmosphere. Let's start with what makes them so different from their famous cousin, the tornado. Tornadoes form from thunderstorms. They're violent, dangerous, and descend from the clouds above. But dust devils are born from the ground up, created by simple temperature differences between hot ground and cooler air. They're like nature's convection currents made visible, and they can form on the sunniest, calmest days when you'd least expect them. The magic begins when sunlight heats a patch of ground unevenly. Maybe there's a dark patch of soil next to lighter sand, or a dry area beside vegetation. That hot spot warms the air directly above it, causing that air to rise rapidly. Cooler air rushes in from the sides to replace it, and if conditions are just right, if there's just enough wind shear or a slight breeze to give it a nudge, that incoming air begins to spin. What happens next is like watching a ballet of physics. The rising hot air acts like an invisible chimney, pulling more air upward. The spinning motion gets tighter, faster, more organized. Dust and leaves get caught in the vortex, making the invisible visible. Within minutes, you have a fully formed dust devil, sometimes just a few feet tall, other times reaching hundreds of feet into the sky. But here's where it gets really interesting. Dust devils aren't just random dirt swirls. They have structure, intelligence almost. The strongest ones develop multiple vortices, smaller whirls spinning around the main column. They follow predictable paths, often moving with the prevailing wind while maintaining their own internal rotation. Some even develop eyes at their centers, much like hurricanes, where the air is calm and clear while chaos whirls just feet away. Scientists studying dust devils have made astonishing discoveries. These whirlwinds are actually efficient heat engines, transporting warm air from the ground high into the atmosphere. On Mars, where we've observed dust devils through rover cameras, they help clean solar panels and redistribute dust across the planet's surface. Some researchers believe studying earthly dust devils could help us understand weather patterns on other planets. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect is how common they are while remaining largely invisible. Most dust devils form without picking up enough dust to see. They're there, spinning silently across parking lots, fields, and deserts, but we only notice the ones that happen to form over loose soil or sand. It makes you wonder how many of these invisible whirlwinds are dancing around us every day. The lifespan of a dust devil is both brief and dramatic. They typically last just a few minutes, though under perfect conditions, some can persist for much longer. Their death is as graceful as their birth, usually occurring when they move over cooler ground, encounter obstacles that disrupt their flow, or when the temperature differences that created them begin to equalize. They don't violently dissipate like tornadoes. They simply unwind, their energy returning to the atmosphere as quietly as it arrived. What's remarkable is that despite their sometimes intimidating appearance, most dust devils are harmless. Unlike tornadoes, they rarely cause significant damage. The strongest ones might reach wind speeds comparable to a tropical storm, but their small size limits their destructive potential. There are rare exceptions. Dust devils have been known to overturn small vehicles or damage temporary structures, but for the most part, they're nature's gentle whirlwinds. The real significance of dust devils goes beyond their visual spectacle. Meteorologists study them to understand small-scale atmospheric processes. Climate researchers examine how they transport dust and heat. Even engineers look to them for inspiration in designing more efficient ventilation systems or understanding fluid dynamics. What begins as a simple temperature difference becomes a self-organizing system that follows the fundamental laws of physics with elegant precision. From the deserts of Arizona to the plains of Africa to the surface of Mars, these miniature whirlwinds demonstrate how complex patterns can emerge from simple beginnings. Have you ever witnessed a dust devil forming in real life? Share your experience in the comments below, and if you want to uncover more of nature's hidden mysteries, subscribe to Nature Unlocked and hit that notification bell so you never miss an exploration.